Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Commentary Hub's coverage of Denmark against England in Group C for Euro 2024. I'm your alternative commentator, Nicholas Jones, and I'm delighted to have alongside me Mike Harneman. And thank you to Russ for his earlier commentary on Slovenia against Serbia, which ended in a 1-1 draw. Whilst we thought it was going to be a Serbia victory, whilst we thought it was going to be a Slovenia victory, Serbia just pulled back one goal at the last minute, and that is good news for England because if they win this match, they will finish top of the group for sure and advance through to the round of 16. And Mike Harneman, this is a real test for this could well be a real test for both sides, as this is a repeat of the semi-final match which we covered about 3 years ago, and boy, what a game that was.
Good evening, Nicholas. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, so that was a fantastic game, the semi-final back in 2021. Obviously, it was the 2020 tournament, was put back a year due to the COVID pandemic. But yeah, it was a great tournament, and lots of the same players featuring for both of their countries again this evening as well.
That's right, 21 in total, including substitutions. So we'll go through the players now, starting with Denmark, with Kasper Schmeichel in goal, the captain. Then it's Joachim Andersen, Andreas Christensen, Yannick Vestergaard, Joachim Mæhle, Morten Hjulmand, Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, Victor Christensen, Rasmus Højlund, Christian Eriksen, and Jonas Wind. For England, we have Jordan Pickford in goal. Then it's Kyle Walker, John Stones, Mark Gay, Kieran Trippier, Declan Rice, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka, and Harry Kane, the captain. Just seeing Prince William, the Prince of Wales, inside the Arena Frankfurt, or also known as the Waldstadion. England have played here before. Some people may remember. They won 1-0 against Paraguay in their opening group stage match at the World Cup in 2006. And they also lost in their group stage match in Euro 1988, 3-1 against the former Soviet Union. And another interesting thing about this stadium is that it also hosted the 2011 Women's World Cup final, a legendary game in its own right. Japan beat the United States 3-1 on penalties after an initial 2-2 draw. So quickly rattle through the substitutes for Denmark. It's Hermansen and Ronov, the Denmark goalkeepers. Then Kjær, Jensen, Skolob, Olsen, Dolberg, Jorgensen, Damsgaard, Norgard, Barr, Poulsen, Dyer, Christensen, and Larson. England have Ramsdale, Henderson, Konsa, Dunk, Gallagher, Tony, Gordon, Watkins, Bowen, Eze, Gomez, Palmer, Wharton, and Mainu as the players make their way out of the tunnel. Just quickly get ready to make their way out of the tunnel. I must say, I better ask Mike his opinion on how the game will be played, both in similar terms of both similarly to the semi-finals, and if anything will be done differently.
Yeah, so just a couple of other stats as well. Jordan Pickford today is becoming the record English appearance maker at major tournaments. Passing Peter Shilton's tally of 20. So obviously he's now at 21. And Kieran Trippier as well, who's playing at left back in place of Luke Shaw, earns his 50th cap today for the country as well. So congratulations to both of them, and hopefully they both have good games as well. But I think it's going to be a difficult test today. You know, a lot of these Danish players know the Premier League. They've played in the Premier League. A lot of them still do play in the Premier League as well. And that's a big test. Obviously, England need to do better than in the second half against Serbia last time out. But we've got the players in the pitch to do so. Hopefully, like Mayo, Saka, Foden, Jude Bellingham last time out, and Harry Kane performed today, and England are able to get through, as group winner. Sorry. It's going to be a difficult test and a difficult game, but I think England should just about get it done and should just be too strong. I think it's going to be narrow. I think the Danes will probably score as well. So, in terms of a prediction, I'm going to go England winning 2-1.
That's kind of what I'm going for as well. But we shall now pause for the national anthems. So that was both. So that was both the national anthems played out. Lots of cheers. I think England were perhaps the loudest. I think there might have been a couple of boos and whistles leading up to the Denmark anthem, which I think is quite unsporting. The players now shaking hands with each other. They're wishing everybody good luck, and time now to quickly take a look at our match officials. Our referee is Arthur Soares Dias of Portugal. But before we do that, let's run you through the formations. Denmark in the 3-4-1-2 formation. So we have Schmeichel in goal, then Anderson, Christensen, and so that was. And what I can actually mention is that Joachim Mæhle is actually in for Bar. Only one change made by Kasper Hjulmand. So Schmeichel, Vestergaard, Christensen, Anderson, and so on. So back to our match officials. Arthur Soares Dias of Portugal is the match referee. Then assistant referees are Paulo Soares and Pedro Ribeiro, also of Portugal. The fourth official is Mikola Balakin of Ukraine. On VAR is Thiago Martins, also of Portugal. Then with his assistant VARs, Alejandro Hernandez and Juan Martinez Muniera, also of Spain. UEFA referee observer, Nicola Rizzoli of Italy, and UEFA delegate is Kornul Matieva of Azerbaijan. England are in a 4-2-3-1 formation, which is kind of the same as in their victory against Serbia. Harry Kane is all out on his own, the lone striker, but he's flanked by Foden, Bellingham, and Saka. Mike, was Gareth Southgate right to stick with what he knew?
It's interesting because there were talks about potentially making changes. Jared Bowen obviously came off the bench last time out and performed very well in that second half. I thought he's potentially he could have potentially been in with a shout today to start. But yeah, I think it's probably quite a smart and sensible move to keep the lineup as it was. There's no need to make changes really when they're obviously gelling and getting to know each other in terms of playing together in the international tournament here. So yeah, I think it's probably a smart idea to keep the same lineup, and then hopefully if England go a few goals up, then he can look to the bench and bring a few different names off the bench, and obviously if England do top the group, he can use the game against Slovenia to give a few players a run out as well.
Yes, and we're about a momentary pause for both players as Gerhard Almja, a minute's silence for Gerhard Almja, who passed away. Mike, who was Gerhard Almja?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I have to do a bit of research on that one. I'll see if I can dig out some information, and I'll see what I can find out.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell what it was. I think it was either silence or a momentary applause. Anyway, sorry, and anyway, apologies to anyone who thinks we kind of lost our way of it. Anyway, we're just about a couple of minutes away from kickoff. Gareth Southgate looking on from the touchline looks very calm and composed, but he can't. But I've seen him pretty animated on the touchline. However, he does look relaxed. It'll be England to kick us off. They're wearing white shirts, the white socks and the blue shorts. And away we go then for this crucial match for England in the Group C match at the Frankfurt Arena against Denmark. Denmark wearing red shirts, white shorts and red socks. Denmark are playing from right to left, England left to right, and it's Denmark who are in possession straight away with its. I think that was Højbjerg with the initial touch. I think there might have been somewhere close to the goal, but England dealt with that. But England dealt with that really well. Jordan Pickford saved a lot of goals, saved a lot of goal attempts, I should say, in England's last match against Serbia. Really cool customer in front of goal is Jordan Pickford. Rice passing up the wing to, I think that might have been Kieran Trippier, which it was, and down the wing it goes. I think that was through Gay, but Denmark have it back through Victor Christiansen. It's Christiansen gives it away to Harry Kane, and Kane crossing down wing to Bukayo Saka. Saka halted by Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and Mike after that throw-in. Difficult to see who got off to the better start at the moment.
Yeah, it's been quite a cagey start. England did look like they're trying to go for it and attack the Danish defence. But yeah, obviously the opening minute or two, it's been quite cagey really. The game hasn't really got going too much as of yet.
These kinds of opening parts of the games are normally just to see what the other team are going to do, feel each other out, as it were. As Saka plays the ball forward to Walker, but deflected, but cleared out by Yannick Vestergaard. Didn't look very convincing thus far, but England did at least get the ball inside the 18-yard box, so that's something, I guess. Saka passing to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now Walker back to Alexander-Arnold. I think that was Rice. Alexander-Arnold again, or should that be Walker? It's now back with Jordan Pickford. Pickford sending the ball forward out of goal. I think that went as far as Kane, but it ends up at the feet of Trippier. Now Declan Rice. Rice was looking to good block by Denmark. It's Bellingham to John Stones. Stones back towards Rice. Now Mark Gay. Very impressive in the last match against Serbia. Now it's with Harry Kane. Kane passing to Alexander-Arnold. Now down the wing towards John Stones. Stones passing to, I think that was Rice. Yes, it was. Rice passes back towards Gay. Gay was doing his best to hold off Ericsson, but it goes back. But England still managed to keep hold of the ball. It almost ends up at the feet of Walker, but a throw-in will be awarded to Denmark. As it stands after 3.5 minutes, it's Denmark 0, England 0. As Kasper Hjulmand walks around the touchline just to see what everyone is doing from each angle. Christensen to take the throw, and Denmark managed to hold on to the ball despite England pressurising from behind. It's now currently with Joachim Andersen. Andersen with the ball for Denmark. Now a quick pass to Jonas Vind. And Denmark aiming for the 18-yard box, but headed out by Mark Gay. Don't forget, if England win, they will automatically qualify for the round of 16. Denmark need to win this one. They were lackluster in their 1-1 draw match against Slovakia, and will really need to up their game. It's Victor Christensen dancing around the 18-yard box, but cut out by England. They had to retreat. It's Ericsson to, I couldn't see who. Yes, it was actually Morten Hjulmand. Morten Hjulmand gives the ball away to England. It's Kyle Walker. Walker now passing to Bukayo Saka. It's Saka back to Walker, I think. Now the ball is forwarded to Mark Gay. It's Gay now to Kieran Trippier. Phil Foden manages to keep it inside the line. And so Declan Rice passes to Alexander-Arnold. Bellingham to John Stones. Now Kyle Walker. Walker concedes to Denmark, and now pelting up the field. Christian Eriksen was about to pelt up the field, but he held back at the last moments, and after 5.5 minutes, Mike, still nothing to choose between them.
Yeah, there really hasn't been an awful lot. There's not been any chances as of yet, have there, for either nation. But if England can get Declan Rice on the ball, I think that's when things might start to happen. Obviously, you spoke about Mark Gahey as well, who I thought was excellent last time out, coming in for Harry Maguire, who's obviously out of the squad with injury. And obviously, it's going to be a big test for him against a very good Danish attack as well with Højlund and Vind up front there. So, yeah, it's been a very, as I say, quite a cagey start to the game, and no chances as of yet for either nation. Yeah.
Walker passes to Alexander-Arnold. Now it's with John Stones and back towards Alexander-Arnold. And Alexander-Arnold crossing towards Saka, who was, I think, held back by Victor Christensen. But good use of the body by Christensen. Did really well to hold Saka off. Denmark back with the ball, and it's with Christensen once more. Christensen passes up the wing to Yannick Vestergaard. So it's Vestergaard. Who will he pass to? The answer is Joachim Mæhle, or is it Andreas Christensen? No, I think it might have been Andreas Christensen, the ex-Chelsea man. Now a pass to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. It's Højbjerg back to Christensen. Christensen being very tactical with the ball. England starting to close Denmark in as they try their best to defend. It's Joachim Mæhle with the ball, but almost deflected away by Trippier. And in fact, Trippier has been fouled. Do you see this as a normal incident, Mike?
It was quite an interesting one there. I think I think the referee got it right. I think it is a free kick. I think it was right not to book him as well.
Okay, so England to take the free kick because it was so close to goal. The free kick will be taken by Jordan Pickford. He's composing himself. Takes a compose himself, takes a few deep breaths. Kyle Walker sitting down on the ground. I think he might be in some kind of pain.
I think he got a little knock there as he was putting that delivery into the box. I think he just got caught there by the Danish player.
Okay, I'll just try and cooperate on that. And it actually looked like he slipped up, and indeed he did it. He slipped up just as he was trying. He slipped up just as he was trying to deflect it away. But he'll be hoping that this knock doesn't get any worse. He appears to be fine for the time being. Talking to the physio, is actually changing his boots. So a free kick to be taken again by Jordan Pickford. After 9 minutes, it remains Denmark 0, England 0, and Walker taking the time to tie up his laces. Rest assured, he will be back on the pitch as the ball has been given away to Denmark. Denmark with Højbjerg. And Højbjerg does well to pass to Jonas Vind. Vind all the way to Vestergaard. And Vestergaard has passed back to Højbjerg. Højbjerg. What can he do? Højbjerg quickly passing to, I think that might have been Victor Christiansen, but given away to England. It's Mark Gay to John Stones. Stones now to Alexander Arnold. Alexander Arnold. Walker. Walker passes to Jude Bellingham. And Bellingham, that's a cross up the wing towards, I think that might have been Kieran Trippier. Trippier gives it to Foden. Now it's with Alexander Arnold. Back towards Gay. Gay, Stones. Or should that be Rice? It's Rice. Now Gay. Stones. Stones passes to Kyle Walker. Now Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka really needs to press through, which he does. He passes to Jude Bellingham, but Bellingham fouled just outside the box. But play has been called to a halt. How do you see this one, Mike?
Yeah, I think that was just a bit of a foul there on Bellingham, who, as I said before, had a very good game last time out against Serbia. So England are going to want to get him on the ball as much as possible in those final third. In those dangerous areas in the final third.
According to his heat map, which was gathered in the data from the last match, he was all over the place in midfield. So England will really want more of the same from him. As Christian Eriksen almost takes the ball for Denmark, but given away to Mark Gay for England, and Gay did really well to halt what could have been an impressive attack from Eriksen.
Yeah, very good defending there from Mark Gay. Obviously, coming into the tournament with a couple of question marks over his head. Hasn't played too much international football, but very composed there.
Yep, he's certainly belying his lack of experience as Kieran Trippier crosses to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham now inside the 18-yard box, has to defend from Morten Hjulmand. Hjulmand did really well to force it out, but England have another bite at the cherry. It's Foden passing to Gay. Now the ball being sent down wing towards Walker. Walker to Saka. Back towards Walker. And now the ball has been passed to Alexander Arnold. Saka once more. England wants to break through, but Denmark are still managing to hold them at bay. Good defensive work from them. It's Walker to Phil Foden. Foden does well to dodge the defender. A lob goes for a lob, but it's over the bar. And that is the closest that anyone has come to scoring in this game. Phil Foden should have been a bit closer, but unlucky not to send it in.
Yeah, it was a good effort there from Phil Foden, cutting inside off the left. just drifting there, sort of unchallenged by the Danish defence. And I think that's what Phil Foden does really well as well. He's not an out-and-out left-sided player. If we can get him in those positions, then I think he can really hurt this Danish defence.
Gareth Southgate will, I'm sure, want to see more of him as Denmark get ready to take the throw in with Joachim Mæhle. So Mæhle looking for the best angle to throw, which he does. He throws to Morten Hjulmand, but given away straight away to England. It's Gay to John Stones. Eriksson hounding him, but Stones reacts well to the situation. Arnold, bit of a lob over, and the ball ends up at the feet of Saka, but Saka pushed over the line by Victor Christensen. That was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, I think it was, but I think we touched on it earlier as well a little bit though with Bukayo Saka. He gets a little bit targeted at times by defences because of how good he is, and I think that's it's just part of the game in football. It's good defending, I think, as well.
Yes, if a little too aggressive and rough, as Morten Hjulmand passes to Mæhle. Now back towards Hjulmand. Højbjerg down the wing to I think that's Christensen. Yes, it is. Christensen to Christensen. Now the ball ends up at the feet of Vestergaard. Vestergaard crossing to Victor Christensen, but headed away by England. I'd say right this moment in time, as we approach the 15-minute mark, England are starting to break away a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree. I think England are getting more in the ascendancy at this moment in time. The sort of stats, in terms of overall meetings would suggest that England have got one over on Denmark as well, having played 22 times previously. England winning 13 of those, and looking to make that 14 today as well now, and Denmark only winning 4 and 5 draws. So in that sense, England are well on top, and England are trying to get on top in this game, and have started to do that as well in the last few minutes.
You have to go back to October 2020 in a Nations League match when Denmark last beat England. 1-0 they did, and Christian Eriksen was the only goal scorer. Denmark still with the ball as it's with Andreas Christensen. Christensen almost concedes to England, but he read the situation well and was able to pass to his goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel. England preparing for another attack through Declan Rice. Rice passes to Kane. Kane was lining up a shot, but deflected by Joachim Andersen. It's Stones. Passing Stones, I think, with the ball, and he passes to Mark Gay. Gay now to Walker. Walker passing to Stones. Back towards Mark Gay. Now John Stones again. Stones passes to Pickford. Jordan Pickford hasn't really seen much action apart from receiving the ball from his own teammates. So he hasn't really had to do much from defending from a Denmark attack. But as Mike said, England are starting to begin their ascendancy. So it's Mark Gay crossing down wing to Kyle Walker. Walker to Bukayo Saka. Now Bellingham was about to pass back to Saka, but Kyle Walker was able to get there in front of Christensen. England inside the 18-yard box. Saka towards Harry Kane, and England have taken the lead. Fantastic finish by Harry Kane in the 18th minute. And you have to say, Mike, that is a classic Harry Kane opener.
Yeah, that was brilliant from Kyle Walker as well down the right-hand side. Thought he did really, really well there to get the better of his man and then put the ball into the box. Bukayo Saka obviously scuffed his attempt, and Harry Kane is Harry Kane. He doesn't miss from there, and he didn't miss from there. Harry Kane against Denmark once again.
What a What a beauty it was. Kyle Walker, Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker did really well to pass to him. In fact, it was actually Saka who did that. So Kyle Walker did well to set up. Saka received the ball at the right moments, and Kane was there completely unmarked. And after 18 and a half minutes, it's Denmark 0, England 1. And if England continue on the form that they are, they will surely go through to the round of 16.
Yeah, and that's a big moment for Harry Kane as well. Now scoring only on the second game of the tournament. Obviously, he's a real prolific striker. Been doing it out in Germany for Bayern Munich this season. Obviously, was very prolific in his time in England at Tottenham as well. And it's great for him to get off the mark so early on in the tournament.
Denmark have been fired a warning shots. They need to up their game if they are to stop this England attack. I may also need to say that they are in contention for being the best of the third place teams currently. They just need to hope that England don't score too many goals, as any more than that could see them out of the Euros. But they are safe in third where they are currently, as Denmark look like they're about to have the ball played towards Christian Eriksen, but England were able to hold them off. Really good defending by England.
Yeah, superb defending from England once again, and people question this England back line when the squad was announced, but so far in the tournament they've stood up to all expectations and more, to be honest. So yeah, very good defending from England in that moment of play, and all the questions that would be in front of them have been answered so far anyway.
You could say their critics have been silenced, and as Højbjerg has the ball, was able to pass to his teammates by holding off England resilience. It's Andreas Christensen to Joachim Andersen to I couldn't see who, but the ball goes back towards Andersen. It's Joachim Mæhle once more for Denmark. Tackled, but the ball was almost had by Højbjerg. A bit of an incident between Højbjerg and an England player I could not identify. But Denmark appeared to, but players been stopped for something. I can't really ascertain what it is at this moment in time. Do please bear with us while we try and work this out. And this was between Højbjerg and an incident between Højbjerg and Declan Rice. I finally managed to identify him. What do you reckon to this, Mike?
I don't think there was an awful lot in it. Obviously, it's Arsenal against Tottenham, so there's a little bit of a rivalry there in terms of clubs as well. But yeah, not too much in it. And I think, to be honest, I think Danish fans should be quite pleased with how they've come out on the back of going 1-0 down as well. They're looking to take the game to England now, and I think England going 1-0 up has woken them up a little bit.
They certainly look like they've been woken up, as Morten Hjulmand passes to Mæhle, but headed out by Kieran Trippier. That won't worry Denmark so much, as they have a throw in. Hopefully, they are hoping that they will be able to capitalise from this throw in. Deflected away though by Bellingham. But retaken by Denmark. Out it goes again for another throw in. Now Denmark have the ball through Mæhle. Mæhle passing to Christian Eriksen. Eriksen finds Mæhle. Now it's with Jonas Vind. Vind to Eriksen, but bounced away by Kieran Trippier. England aren't out of the woods yet. Denmark still hungry for that equalising goal. but once again, England just managed to hold them off.
Yeah, good defending once again. And obviously, talking about Christian Eriksen there, I have to mention, obviously, the previous tournament when, obviously, he suffered that very nasty cardiac arrest. And I know, obviously, you covered that game for the channel. And it's great to see him back playing and playing at a good level as well.
Yeah, plays currently for Manchester United in the Premier League. Just having another look again at that Harry Kane goal, just sublime. And it certainly caught Kasper Schmeichel napping. I mean, Kasper Schmeichel used to play with Harry Kane at Tottenham, so surely he should know what. Surely he should know what he's capable of.
Yeah, well, obviously Kasper Schmeichel was at Leicester, wasn't he? Not at
Tottenham, no, sorry, Leicester, my mistake.
But obviously he's played against Harry Kane a number of times, and yeah, you know, as I said, though, Harry Kane doesn't miss chances like that. Obviously, Kasper Schmeichel's dad, Peter Schmeichel, wouldn't have saved that one either.
No. Okay, so it's Mæhle to Højbjerg. Now back towards Mæhle. And now across towards Finn, but saved by Pickford. He just picked it up. He just picked the ball up as though he knew it was coming. It was magnetically attracted to him, and he just caught it with his bare hands.
Yeah, Jordan Pickford is excellent for England. Obviously, you know, he's had a bit of a torrid time at Everton with them struggling towards the bottom of the division in the Premier League. But when it comes to country, Jordan Pickford is, to be honest, pardon the pun, he's safe hands.
Yeah, I was eulogizing about it. I was eulogizing about him in the match when I was covering the match against Serbia, and this proves my point. As meantime, Denmark are back in play with Joachim Andersen. It's Andersen who was, I think, passing to Vind. Ball was deflected towards Mæhle. Now back to Andersen. Mæhle once more. Now Jonas Vind to Højbjerg. Pass this to Eriksen. Now back towards Mæhle. England defending their goal area for all it's worth. As Yannick Vestergaard has the ball. Vestergaard towards Vind. Now Christian Eriksen. England do really well to close him down. As Eriksen is just one of those players who when he sees an open gap, he just pounces. Now the ball ends up at the feet of Bukayo Saka. It's Saka passing to Kyle Walker. So Walker passing back to Saka, and Saka fouled by Saka fouled by Yannick Vestergaard. Vestergaard gets a yellow card. Is that the right decision?
Yeah, I think it probably is, to be honest. I think that's quite good refereeing there. I do believe that's, probably justified a yellow card there. And, you know, it was good play from England. So, yeah, I think the referees got that one right.
Free kick given to England. And as we all know, and Yannick Vestergaard had better watch out, because as we all know, 2 yellow cards means that you are banned from the next match your country will play in. This might have been the I couldn't really see what all that was about. Anyway, free kick to England to be taken by, I think that's Phil Foden. Foden just quickly passes to Alexander-Arnold. Gay, but it hits the side. Netting. That was a poorly timed and taken free kick by England, in my view.
Yeah, I think so as well. But Mark Gay obviously being up there is a bit of a surprise. Obviously being a defender, but yeah, as I said before, Denmark have grown into this game now, and England are hanging on a little bit.
So could the tide be turning? So could the tide be turning in Denmark's favour? It's Højbjerg to Mæhle. Eriksen now with Jonas Vind. I think that was. No, it wasn't. It was Rasmus Højlund. Christensen passing to Morten Hjulmand. No relation to Kasper, of course. Joachim Andersen. Andersen was about to cross to Eriksson, but held by Foden, I think it was. Joachim Mæhle to Højbjerg. Højbjerg inside the 18-yard box. Bellingham does well to close him down, but England have got to watch out, and saved once again by Jordan Pickford. Nothing gets past this man.
No, again, it was good defending there from England, and in particular, Jordan Pickford done very, very well there. And as I said before, England have got to be a bit careful now. And I think it might be a good time to keep the ball a little bit and just kind of knock it around and just kind of keep possession for a bit, because Denmark are competing very well at the moment. And England, I think if they can keep possession, might be able to frustrate Denmark a little bit.
Højen did have the ball for a fraction of the second, but he should have reacted. But he should have reacted when he got it. England now back in play with the ball. It's Saka to Kyle Walker. Walker passing to John Stones. We've just passed the 29-minute mark. The score still remains Denmark 0, England 1, and it's Phil Foden passing the ball around to Mark Gay, and Gay fouled by one of the Denmark forwards as Kyle Walker passes to John Stones. Now Jordan Pickford, Eriksson hunting him down, but Pickford read the situation really well, as it's Jude Bellingham now under threat by Denmark, but Denmark were able to take the ball. It's Joachim Mæhle. Mæhle to Jonas Vind. Vind passing to Mæhle, and Pickford got a hand to it, but he wasn't able to catch it. Luckily, the England defenders came to his aid, and it's Bukayo Saka now motoring up the pitch, but tripped by Andreas Christensen. That was I have to say that was really touch and go for England, but the danger is not over yet, as Joachim Andersen passes to Morten Hjulmand. Now the ball has ended up at the feet of Victor Christensen. Eriksson to Christensen. I think that was Vestergaard. Yes, it is Vestergaard. Vestergaard passing to Christensen again. Christensen looking for the right person to pass to. He passes to Vestergaard. Vestergaard to Jonas Vind. Vind now towards Mæhle. It's Mæhle with the ball. He passes once again to Vince. Vince now to Højbjerg. Højbjerg passing to Vind once more, but defended again by Gay. It just bounces off the top netting. That is the closest Denmark have come to scoring, and Jonas Vind, Mike, unlucky it didn't go where he wanted it to.
Yeah, he was unlucky there, but on the other forefront as well, it was a very good bit of defending from Mark Gahey. I thought that he was excellent there, positioned himself in the correct way, and was able to get a solid block on that, and then obviously take the deflection over the top for a Denmark corner. Obviously, just before that, Jordan Pickford came out and got a good punch on the ball as well, just to direct it away. But yeah, as I said, Denmark are starting to cause England a few problems now. But the defence is standing up to it and doing well so far.
First corner taken, but the referee wasn't satisfied with it. I think he's having a quick word with Walker and with Walker and Christensen. I couldn't really see what this was all about. We'll get Mike's thoughts on that as and when we can. But Denmark now have their second corner. Can they make this one count? The ball goes in towards the 18-yard box, headed over by Andreas Christensen, or was that Yannick Vestergaard? No, it was Vestergaard. Vestergaard just missed, and it went over the bar again.
Yeah, it was a good play from Denmark, good delivery in, and not too far away actually either. But yeah, Denmark are coming very close now.
Free kick given to England. I think I just saw the referee make a hand signal which indicated a free kick. as Pickford passes to Mark Gay. Gay to Declan Rice. Now back towards Mark Gay. Gay under pressure from Christian Eriksen, but he runs into. I think that's Jonas Vind. It is, and Jonas Vind, understandably not happy. How do you see this one?
Yeah, I'm not overly sure on that one, to be honest. I think it's. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but as I say, I think this goal could potentially be coming for Denmark soon. That's.
And just as you say that, Denmark have equalised. It's through Morten Hjulmand. What a beautiful finish.
It was a lovely goal, right into the bottom corner there, past Jordan Pickford. It was poor from England, giving the ball away sloppily, and obviously Denmark were able to capitalise on that. And Jordan Pickford, as good as he is, couldn't get down on that one in time, and the ball nestles into the bottom of his net, and we're back square at 1-1 again, or back square, on level terms anyway.
Well, it looks like we are. This game could potentially get more exciting. And just having another look at that again. Morten Hjulmand. Nobody knew he was there. I think an England defender might have stretched his foot out, but couldn't get to it. And Jordan Pickford missed it completely. And this means a lot to Kasper Hjulmand, given his expression and body language. Denmark were on the back foot earlier. Now I'd have to say it's England that are on the back foot now.
Yeah, I have to agree as well. Denmark have really grown in this game and have started to get on the ascendancy now. I think it was actually Declan Rice that gave the ball away as well, which is very unlike him.
Speaking of Declan Rice, he got into a bit of argy-bargy with Morten Hjulmand. I think elbowed his head a little bit. But Declan Rice, lucky to get away with it.
Yeah, I think he was. Sorry about that. I was just, I think Declan Rice was a little bit fortunate there. I'm not 100% sure if it was Declan Rice that gave the ball away for the goal or whether it was Kieran Trippier actually, but I'll see if I can get a replay of that. I think it probably was Declan Rice though, from the position of the pitch. But either way, it's it's a shame to see England surrender that lead, and poor bit of play from England on the goal anyway.
Very poor indeed. The Three Lions have to regroup fast. Walker passes to, I couldn't see who it was. That might have been Kane. Now the ball is with Jonas Vind, but Denmark play on, and Vind he's having a rough time out there.
Yeah, he is, but he's doing very, very well against this England defence, and him and Højlund are causing a few problems for this England back line now.
I did say earlier on that Denmark would run England close, and they certainly are. But they could run rings around them given their current performance. It's Andreas Christensen passing to Yannick Vestergaard. Vestergaard to Mæhle. Now the ball is with Hjulmand. Hjulmand to I think that might have been Mæhle. Yes, it was Mæhle. Back to Vestergaard. Vestergaard with the ball. Now he passes to Højbjerg. Gay and Bellingham were staring him down, or was it Saka and Bellingham? No, it was Saka. It's Højbjerg. Højbjerg to Joachim Andersen. Andersen to Hjulmand. Hjulmand going for another shot, but England were able to hold on. I think they might just have been momentarily shocked, but I can just about see them getting back to the form they were before they let that goal in.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at some stats here. In terms of possession, it's actually 50-50 in possession as well. at this moment in time. Although it doesn't seem like that with Denmark scoring and attacking quite a bit since the goal as well. But yeah, I think this
another
is
corner to Denmark, and headed over by Joachim Andersen. Sorry, Mike, I just had to call this one, but that just goes to show that Denmark are now firing more on all cylinders.
Yeah, they are. I was just going to say, actually, it's probably a big 7 or 8 minutes for England now. At very least, need to get to half time at 1-1. If unable to go back in front again, it's actually a very big 6 or 7 minutes for England now.
Yes, it certainly is. The ball is now back. The ball is now back with John Stones, headed by Bellingham towards Harry Kane. Kane now conceding to Morten Hjulmand. Hjulmand now to Joachim Andersen. And as Mike says, 50-50 between both Denmark and England. Kane almost taking the ball off Denmark, but the defender was able to pass to Kasper Schmeichel really, really well. So it's Morten Hjulmand, Vestergaard, now with Andersen. Andersen to Joachim Mæhle. Mæhle didn't need to shoot from that angle, in my opinion. He was too far back.
Yeah, I think so as well. But I think the Denmark players, now that they've got the goal, are taking a few more risks as well. Sometimes
you have to take risks in order to score, and Denmark are certainly doing that. Ball now currently with Højbjerg. Højbjerg to Eriksson, but picked up by England. It's now with Trent Alexander-Arnold. 5 minutes to go until half time. Denmark 1, England 1 is the current score, but that could be 2 for England as Phil Foden goes for a long ranger, but easily saved by Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, it was a very comfortable save actually there for Kasper Schmeichel. I think it was actually Phil Foden that gave the ball away, by the way, for that England goal. For that England goal they conceded. So I was actually wrong on both counts, I believe, with Rice and Trippier. But yeah, I think Foden is needs to get into this game a bit more.
Mike putting all the pieces of the puzzle together as England are now trying to put together their own puzzle. How to get ahead of Denmark with so few minutes left on the clock, as Kyle Walker now has the ball. He passes to Saka, now back towards Foden, who was motoring all the way in front of goal, taking on all comers, but he just fell short at the last moment. It's Alexander-Arnold to Foden, back towards Foden, now Jude Bellingham to Gay. Gay now to Bellingham via Trippier. It's Mæhle, gives the ball away back to Trippier. Trippier to Harry Kane, but well held by Denmark. England now looking to get back into this one through Trippier. Trippier to Bellingham. Now back to Trippier. It's Phil Foden. But Bukayo Saka just couldn't get to the ball in time.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an overhit ball there from Phil Foden, and I think that Bukayo Saka, as good as he is, wasn't able to get on the end of that one. And he's not really had a very impactful first half either. He was involved in the goal. He obviously mishit that one, and then Harry Kane put it into the back of the net. But apart from that, they've kept Saka very, very quiet in this first half.
Maybe they should if they did, they'll probably want him to be a bit more animated before the start of during the second half. It's Alexander-Arnold, but gives the ball away to Denmark through Mæhle and now Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Højbjerg to I couldn't see who that was. I think that might have been Morten Hjulmand. Eriksson, Vind. Now Hjulmand again. Joachim Mæhle. Back to Hjulmand. Now Højbjerg again. Mæhle with the cross. Headed away by Mark Gay. Given back to England through Harry Kane, and Kane I think was about to pass to Bellingham, but was closed down by Denmark. We have around 90 seconds to go until half time, plus whatever additional minutes we will be adding on. So it's now with Christian Eriksen inside the 18-yard box. Hjulmand wants more, but saved by Jordan Pickford. I think Pickford has now wise to him.
Yeah, that was a lot better from Jordan Pickford. Obviously, it was straight down his throat, really, but comfortable save from Pickford. Talking to Bellingham as well, just previously, he's another one that needs to get involved in the game a little bit more for me.
Okay, it was actually Pierre-Emile Højbjerg with that shot. So apologies for that. And it's Eriksen. Eriksen was, I think, setting somebody up, but Declan Rice was able to hold him off with 40 seconds of normal time remaining. This has not been the best of first halves for England.
No, not well. When you look at it overall, it hasn't. Obviously, Denmark grew into the game after going 1-0 down, and were then able to pull themselves level. But I think this is more of a second half performance against Serbia so far than the first half. So hopefully, we see a bit of a reverse, and England come out strong in the second half.
The majority of England supporters will be hoping so as well. 1 minute of additional time has been added on. Kyle Walker passing straight to Bellingham. Down the wing to Alexander-Arnold. Back towards Bellingham. Bellingham passing to Kane, or Foden, I should say, now and to Saka. Nice with Harry Kane. Kane does well to hold off the advantage of Christensen. Crossed by Alexander-Arnold. Doesn't go the way he wants it to. Ball's now back at the feet of Kane. Kane does well to keep it inside the line. It's Kyle Walker to Declan Rice. Now back to Walker. Alexander-Arnold once again, and it goes into the 18-yard box. But none of the forward players were in a position to receive it. Declan Rice crossing down to Saka. We are going to go slightly over time. It's Saka with the ball. Passing to Foden, but he blazes it over the line. Should have been a lot closer. And there it is, half time. And whilst England got off the mark earlier on, the rest of their form was disappointing. Halftime score at the Arena Frankfurt or Waldstadion, depending on which one you want to call it. Denmark 1, England 1. Mike, what do you think England will need to change before the second half?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big team talk now from Gareth Southgate. I think he's really got to get into the team and into the boys really, and kind of get them on the front foot and attacking again. You know, England started very, very bright in that sense. Then were able to get the goal and go 1-0 up, but then they sat back and invited the pressure on from Denmark, and that was when obviously the equaliser came and other chances as well for Denmark. So I think England needs to go for it a bit more in the second half.
It seems like they do. We're gonna take a bit of a break, but join us before the start of the second half. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's coverage of Denmark against England at the Arena Frankfurt for this potentially crucial group stage match for both sides. England came out of the blocks pretty fast, almost all guns blazing, but Denmark wised up to the challenge and equalised not long afterwards. Something I noticed during the half time, Mike, is that the surface of the grass of the turf inside the stadium that's been it's been torn up quite a bit during this. It's been torn up quite a bit during this match. Do you think it might be unsuitable for games like this?
It could have an impact. It could have an effect on the second half. I did notice that at times in the first half, on a few occasions actually, myself as well. But yeah, it could have an impact in the second half potentially. And just to correct myself again for about the fourth time, it was actually Harry Kane that gave the ball away for the Denmark goal. I was just very surprised to see him back there, to be honest. But yeah, it was Harry Kane that gave the ball away when Denmark equalised. Not Foden, not Rice, or anybody else that was mentioned previously. It was 100% Harry Kane.
Well, I'm glad to see you finally put your jigsaw puzzle together. And so we're now getting ready for the start. So we're now getting ready for the start of the second half. The England fans still determined to see a win for England through the end. Gareth Southgate in deep conversation with the assistant manager. So it'll be Denmark to kick us off for the second half. We'll get Mike's thoughts on who he thinks should come on as a substitute for England and when once the ball has been kicked, and away we go then for the second half between Denmark and England, and straight towards Joachim Andersen. Andersen towards Mæhle. Now back to Andersen. Andersen crossing forward to I think that was Jonas Vind, but deflected off Rasmus Højlund. Mike, who do you think Gareth Southgate should bring on as a substitute, and should he do it very soon?
For me, probably give it another 15 minutes or so, about the 60-minute mark. I think there might be a couple of changes if there's not anything that's changed too much in the game. There's options on the bench. Of course, Jarrod Bowen came on last time out and performed very, very well. Conor Gallagher's another name there on the bench as well that could potentially come on and have an impact. But not as of yet. Probably about 15 minutes or so.
Some people might be hoping it. Some people are hoping he might do it sooner, and that could well be the case if Denmark keep playing the way they are and somehow get more goals. And it's Mæhle to Højlund, I think that was, and a deflected away again by Højlund, but England defending really well.
Yeah, England doing well there in that passage of play. Very good defending, and stood up to that attack from Denmark very well.
Trent Alexander-Arnold getting into a bit of a tackle with Højbjerg. I see that as a normal foul. What about you?
Yeah, I don't really think there's an awful lot in that one. Not too much for me.
Not too much indeed. As Denmark are back in play. It's Eriksson passing to Morten Hjulmand. Hjulmand now to Højbjerg. Højbjerg to Vind. Now back to Hjulmand. Now it's with Højbjerg. Now it's with Højbjerg once more. Højbjerg to Vestergaard. Christensen. Well, now being passed to I couldn't see who it was, but a Denmark player went down. It looks as though England are now starting to make a fight of it. with Kyle Walker. Quick pass to Harry Kane. Now Bukayo Saka back to Kane. As things stand right now, England still lead the group, but they are on 4 points. That will not be enough to send them through to the round of 16. They almost certainly need a win. As John Stones now passes to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker once more for England. The ball is deflected away by Hjulmand and goes as far as Joachim Mæhle. Denmark still holding their own and doing a really good job of it. And the ball goes past to Kasper Schmeichel in the goal. It's Bellingham to given away to Denmark, I should say. It's Bellingham once more for England, but tackled by Christian Eriksen and superbly. Although Bellingham suffers the worst of it. He did receive a knock in the first half. He might well have picked up another one. But at the moment it's still all Denmark. Mæhle to Anderson. Anderson now to Højbjerg. Back towards Anderson. Anderson, Vestergaard. Vestergaard to Christensen. Now back towards Anderson. Anderson once more with the cross. Anderson crosses to Christian Eriksen, but halted by England and Mark Gay. It's Joachim Mæhle, almost gives away to England, and Denmark appears to have it, but now England have it through Alexander Arnold. Alexander Arnold passing to Phil Foden. I think he might have been closed down a bit by Denmark and had no choice but to pass. But England back into it with Kyle Walker. Passing straight to Bukayo Saka. Saka inside the 18-yard box. Headed almost and caught by Foden. I thought Foden was going to head it in, but I think he was in the wrong place. As Mark Gay to Kieran Trippier. Trippier now finds Jude Bellingham. Bellingham holding onto the ball, but he has to concede and pass to Trippier. England aren't giving up. It's Declan Rice and saved by Kasper Schmeichel. Should Rice have been closer?
It was quite a comfortable save in the end there from Kasper Schmeichel. It was good bit of build-up play from England, but quite a tame effort from Declan Rice.
Yeah, I actually saw Phil Foden ahead of him. I think taking another look at this, I think Rice should have passed to Foden, and then Foden found the correct angle to finish it off.
Yeah, potentially he could have used Phil Foden as an option, maybe. Yeah.
That's right. And just after 51 minutes, it's still Denmark 1, England 1. Ball picked up by Pickford. And it's now been rolled out to Declan Rice. Rice to Walker. Now back towards Rice and Bellingham. It's Gay back to Pickford. Kyle Walker with the ball. Looks for Alexander Arnold, which he does, and passes to him. Now the ball passes down wing towards Gay. Kieran Trippier. Trippier to Alexander Arnold, and Alexander Arnold now crossing forward to Bukayo Saka. Saka tries to hold on to the ball, and it pays off. England have retaken the lead. Or have they? I don't
know. I think that was actually headed wide. I think that effort from Bukayo Saka, it did look like it had gone in at first on my angle as well. But on a second angle, it was headed just narrowly wide.
Okay, so sorry, England fans. I'm afraid we rejoiced prematurely. Saka's attempt did not go in, but I think that may well have given England fresh hope.
Yeah, I think there's a good opportunity now for England to go for it. I said that in the end of the first half that England have really got to take the game to Denmark now. And let's hope that that's the kick up the backside potentially that England need.
They have been starting to show promise within the last within the last 5 or 10 minutes. Conor Gallagher looks like he's going to get ready to come on as a substitute. We'll let you know when he does, as Hjulmand concedes to Kyle Walker, and I think the referee has blown the whistle for the substitution to take place, and Gallagher will take the place of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Is this the right decision?
Personally, I'd say yes, it is. I think Trent has not been great today in midfield. He's been overlooked quite a lot there, and I mentioned Gallagher before as an option to come on. So, yeah, I think that's a good substitution there from Gareth Southgate.
He impressed me a lot in the last match against Serbia when he came on. Let's just hope he can do more of the same and maybe even get a goal in or two. So it's Declan Rice to John Stones. Stones passes to Mark Gay. Now back to Stones. Does well to hold off Ericsson. The ball goes to Jordan Pickford. Clears it out straight away. Headed by I think that was Kyle Walker. Now the ball is with Jude Bellingham. Bellingham passes to Foden. Foden finds Saka. Bellingham, I should say, inside the penalty, inside the 18-yard box, but cleared out by Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, or was it Morten Hjulmand? Anyway, great defending by Denmark. It's resulted in a throw-in for England, though. Kieran Trippier to take the throw. Waves his hands to get the people he wants into position. He throws to Gay, but the ball now being passed via Stones to Kyle Walker. It's Walker back with the ball. Now Stones to Conor Gallagher. Gallagher back towards Walker. Walker, Gay. It's Mark Gay with the ball, or should I say Bukayo Saka. Saka has defending from Christensen, and that's a long range shot, bounces off the bar, and Saka tried to capitalise but couldn't. And England are getting closer and closer to scoring. And that first attempt by Foden just inches from regaining the lead.
Yeah, it was a good effort there from Phil Foden in that sort of drifted into that 10 position there, and then getting his shot away. I think Conor Gallagher's impressed, having come off the bench as well. He's looking bright so far, and he obviously was involved a little bit there as well with a couple of the balls, with one of the balls that were delivered in, and then obviously Foden getting the effort away, and yeah, not very far away at all. Good effort from Phil Foden, that one, and hopefully, more to come now from England.
Mikkel Damsgaard coming on in place of Jonas Vind, and also Barr is being substituted for Rasmus Christensen. We'll try and correct that as and when we can, but we're almost approaching the 57th minute. It's still we're almost approaching 57 minutes. It's still Denmark 1, England 1, and offside against Denmark. So it'll be a throw in to England. I did see a flag go up, and it'll be Trippier to throw for England, which he does. He throws to Harry Kane. Back to Trippier. Trippier now back towards Kane, but tripped up was Barr. And in fact it was Barr on for Christensen. My apologies, as the ball now being played forward to Mikkel Damsgaard. Damsgaard to Christian Eriksen, but again, England were able to hold them off. Throwing once again to Denmark, and it will be Barr that will take the throw. Barr composes himself. He throws, but headed out by Declan Rice. England once again showing their good defensive skills. Foden to Kane, and Kane now crossing to Bukayo Saka. This could be a golden opportunity for Saka to retake the lead, but he shoots too wide. And just when we thought that England were getting closer and closer, it looks as though they are now back to square one.
Yeah, Denmark are defending very well though. I think Bukayo Saka is getting a lot of joy down that side at the moment in the second half. He's had a few moments. Obviously, he was involved in the pass to Foden. He was involved just then as well. But yeah, Denmark are holding firm at the moment and doing very, very well.
And I wouldn't actually be surprised if they go on and win. But there are still some 31 minutes left on the clock for the game to be resolved. This could go either way. It's Conor Gallagher for England. Passes to Foden. Now back to Gallagher. Gallagher finds Trippier. Now back with Foden, and Foden crossing up the wing to Bukayo Saka. Saka doing well to hold off the advances of Mæhle. It's Saka into the 18-yard box, but the ball was swiftly apprehended by Denmark, and it's now gone as far as John Stones, but easily saved and easily picked up by Jordan Pickford. And Pickford now passing the ball around to the players. I think that might have been Walker who had the last touch of the ball. And speaking of Carl Walker, gets into a bit of a scuffle with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Appear to have fouled him and just sent him flying, Mike.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a scuffle there. Again, good play from Kyle Walker and from England, but a little bit of a rash challenge on him, a little bit late.
This could cost England, as Denmark have been given a free kick. Which way will it go? It's Christian Eriksen to take the free kick. Concentration etched all over his face, but it doesn't pay off as Saka deflects it away. Good reaction by Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, Bukayo Saka's doing very well in the second half, as I mentioned already. He's doing his job defensively as well, and on the offensive side of things, he's causing Denmark a few problems. So if England can get the ball out to him, it could be where the joy could potentially come from.
Yes, and just as you say that, a yellow card has been given against Conor Gallagher, and that is the first yellow card. Just appeared to step on the foot of Christensen, but he wasn't the ball, and I think Christensen just stuck out his foot.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a late one there from Conor Gallagher. I don't think you can have any complaints in going into the referee's book there.
Right, so another free kick. So another free kick given to Denmark, which they take. The ball is now passed to Yannick Vestergaard. Vestergaard to Christensen. Christensen. Now back to Vestergaard. It's Vestergaard. Now back to Anderson. Anderson passing once again. Ball is now with Mikkel Damsgaard. Damsgaard to Højbjerg. So it's Højbjerg. What can he do? Quickly pass to Christian Eriksen is the answer. So it's Eriksen to Vestergaard, and now Vestergaard crossing, but well held, but defended by England. It's Højbjerg to Damsgaard. Barr Now back towards Damsgaard, under pressure from Kieran Trippier. Trippier did well to tackle the ball off him. And it's now with Declan Rice. Rice, headed by Conor Gallagher. Now it's with Højbjerg. But England have conceded to Denmark, and that is a long-range shot by Christian Eriksen. England can thank their lucky stars that it didn't go in.
Yeah, it was quite comfortable in the end. I think there wasn't really going to trouble Jordan Pickford or anything like that too much. But yeah, England have got to be a little bit careful. But yeah, it was quite a comfortable, throw from an England point of view there.
Yeah, to me it looked like John Stones was trying to sell him a dummy or something. But as it stands right now, after 63 and a half minutes, Denmark won, England won. So the ball now being thrown to Morten Hjulmand. Hjulmand gives the ball away to England. It's Gay to Kieran Trippier. Trippier back towards Gay. Gay up the wing to Kyle Walker. Walker does well to hold off Eriksen. Saka, I should say. Passes back to Walker. Ball now ends up at the feet of Jordan Pickford. And now the ball being played pass forward, I should say, to Harry Kane, although he almost loses it to Damsgaard. Although he almost loses it to Vestergaard, I should say. Now the ball is back with Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker passes to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham thought he had it, but he concedes to Denmark, and he's still on the ground, taking a long time to get back up on his feet. Just how many more knocks can he take?
Yeah, that looked quite late. That one. I think that was a little bit rash from the Danish player there, and I think Jude Bellingham has a little bit of a right to complain in that aspect on that potential foul there that time around. Meantime,
another shot. Meantime, another shot at goal by Bukayo Saka, but again, it was just too wide.
Yeah, again, Bukayo Saka though doing everything good for England and that on that right flank and causing the Denmark's defence some problems. So yeah, he's looking very, very bright in these opening 20 minutes of the second half or so.
Yeah, if he keeps my theory is if he keeps causing Denmark problems, he may well force them to concede. But at this moment in time, Denmark are still holding their own. Damsgaard misses his chance to grab the ball, and England have it through John Stones. Stones has to hold off Højlund, which he does. It's Pickford to I think that was Rice, but it goes over the line. I think that was passed over by. I think that might have been passed over by Mark Gay. Has that given Denmark another corner? I don't know at this moment in time. In fact, it has, as Eriksen to take the corner, and another substitute for Denmark as Yusuf Poulsen will come on in place of Rasmus Højlund. So Poulsen sprints onto the pitch, and off comes Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund, he's had a relatively good game by all accounts, hasn't he, Mike?
Yeah, I think he has. I think he's done quite well, Højlund, and obviously he's been marshalled out of the game quite well by England as well. And obviously it's quite difficult when you're up front there, but I thought he's done all right. Yeah.
Eriksen kicks the ball into the 18-yard box, but everybody misses apart from Bukayo Saka. But given away back to Denmark and saved once more by Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, comfortable for Jordan Pickford again, straight down the nose of the England goalkeeper there, who gets it on the second attempt. It wasn't comfortable in the end, but he did enough to keep the ball out of the net.
Yes, he certainly did. I completely missed the Denmark player who was trying to send it in, but I will let you know who it is as and when I can. It's Bar to, I think that might have, I couldn't see who it was. I think that was Højbjerg, but Højbjerg, I think, has been fouled. And now it's with, another ball is with Andreas Christensen. Christensen crossing towards Mailer, and whilst we say that England are starting to, whilst we say that England might have started to press a bit more, in fact it was Gallagher who rammed into Højbjerg. But now, to get back to what I was just saying, it would appear that Denmark are now starting to show more attacking, as there will be 2 substitutions for England. In fact, make that 3. So I think all 5, I should say, substitutions will be made by England. That they're now just using whatever help that they're now just throwing in whichever player they can. In my view, I think Phil Foden was being substituted for Jarrod Bowen. So Kane, Saka, and Foden to come off, and onto the pitch will come Ollie Watkins, Eberechi Eze, and Ollie Watkins. So,
yeah, I think England are just looking for a fresh approach, really. To be honest, a few different players. Jarrod Bowen coming on, who impressed last time out. Ollie Watkins, who's been in very, very good form for club at Aston Villa this season, and Eberechi Eze, who has done very, very well for Crystal Palace and has got a couple of clubs looking at him as well for the transfer window. So I think it's just a fresh approach from England, just looking to get in a couple of fresh legs onto the pitch, and trying to get this potentially tiring Danish team.
Well, they're gonna have to do so within that. Well, they're gonna have to do so within the next 20 and a half minutes. I might think that 20 minutes. Some people might think that 20 minutes isn't enough time to get somebody fresh on, to get some fresh legs on to tire the opposition out. But anyway, England still ahead on ball possession, 53% compared to Denmark's 47%. And Ollie Watkins standing just behind Christensen. Looked like he was about to get the ball, but he wasn't close enough. It's Walker under pressure from Hjulmand, and I think one of the England players might have been tripped up. It was but I couldn't see who it was. Anyway, they carry on playing. It was Jarrod Bowen. I only just realised that. Gallagher passes to Kyle Walker. Now Jude Bellingham back to John Stones. Now the ball's ended up with John Stones that time. Stones to Declan Rice. Declan Rice now passing to Eze. Eze passing up the wing to Bellingham. Bellingham crossing to Ollie Watkins. But Kasper Schmeichel read the situation. But Kasper Schmeichel read the whole thing like a book and just pounced on him at the first opportunity. Or was...
Go on, Nick. Sorry, go on, mate.
Or would Watkins have been offside?
I'm not too sure. I think he was actually just about onside still. It's a good ball from Jude Bellingham as well, and playing through Ollie Watkins there, who just didn't have quite enough on it to get past Kasper Schmeichel. But yeah, I think he would have been onside. Corner
given to England, but dealt with really well by Denmark. England still want this though. It's Trippier to Gallagher, but Eberechi Eze was trying to get to the ball, but Denmark were able to hold him off. It's Eriksen to Damsgaard. Now back to Eriksen. It's Josef Poulsen back towards Christian Eriksen. Eriksen was looking to as a shoot into the 18-yard box, but well held by Gallagher. Denmark still hungry for that second goal. 72 minutes gone. Denmark 1, England 1. You're listening to the Commentary Hub with Nicholas Jones and Mike Harneman. We're also live on the Commentary Hub to JB Sports and Focus on Football. As Vestergaard passes to Joachim Mæhle. It's Mæhle. Now back to Vestergaard. Eriksen, I think. Now a shot but saved by Jordan Pickford. I think that might have come from Eriksen. I'm not too sure, but a yellow card has but a yellow card has been distributed, and it's Joachim Mailer who cops it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. That was going to go in. To be honest, I thought that was very well covered from Jordan Pickford. I thought he'd done well there. And and in terms of the yellow card, I'm not overly sure if that was a yellow or not. There's a little bit 50-50, those challenges for me.
I can just about see it now. I think he did touch the ball slightly before before tapping Jarrod Bowen's leg. But it was enough to send him down. England really need to start racking up the pressure a bit. They need to take advantage of the fact that they've got those 3 young players on the pitch. They haven't taken advantage of it so far, apart from Ollie Watkins almost sending it in. Not much else has gone in the way of England. The fans still believe. They're not giving up. The sun is setting. The sun is setting. If things stay as they are, the sun will set on England's chances to go through to the round of 16 right there, right here and now. Corner kick taken, but headed away by Denmark. Denmark appear to be showing a resilience that we haven't seen from them in a long time. Throw-in taken by England towards Jarrod Bowen. It's Bowen to Kyle Walker, or is it? No, I think it might have been Kyle Walker. But to go back to what I said earlier, a strong resilience from Denmark, the likes of which we haven't seen from them in a long time.
Yeah, they're doing very, very well. They are causing these England defence a few problems now. And Damsgaard coming on has been a big factor in that. Obviously, he scored against England in the semi-final, and looks like he's hungry for more today as well.
Eberechi Eze looked like he was going to get to the ball, but Denmark quickly stopped him. And I think it was Kieran Trippier who had the last touch of the ball before the throw-in. So throw-in given to Denmark, and it will be Alexander Barr to take the throw, which he does. And he throws to, I couldn't see who, but it's been quickly picked up by England. And Kieran Trippier passes to Pickford, but it goes back to Trippier. Gay back towards Pickford, and Pickford somehow clears the ball out of the goal towards Jarrod Bowen. Jarrod Bowen has to hold on to the ball, but conceded to Joachim Andersen. Bowen, I don't think Bowen had enough time to react to the ball.
Yeah, I'm not too sure though. Actually, just looking as well. Obviously, England made those subs not too long ago with Bowen coming on and Eze and Watkins. I don't know if they actually did that at the right time. I think Bukayo Saka was doing very, very well. He was causing the Denmark defence a few problems, and I know Gareth Southgate would have been looking for fresh legs, but I think Bukayo Saka coming off was potentially a wrong one. Harry Kane hasn't been involved in the game too much, despite scoring. Phil Foden the same, but I thought Bukayo Saka was playing well at that point, and maybe if England had given him an extra 5 or 10 minutes, then he could have made something happen.
You could have been right because Denmark almost scored again, but saved once again by Pickford. The ball is now with Joachim Andersen. Yes, it is Joachim Andersen. Andersen, pass it. Andersen, long range cross to Yusuf Poulsen, but halted by Mark Gay, and Gay appears to have fouled Poulsen, and Poulsen understandably not happy.
Yeah, I think he's got a little bit of a right to be a little bit unhappy with that one, but yeah, it's football. Those things can happen sometimes, where you get a little bit roughed up in terms of challenges and stuff. There's no malice in it or anything, but I think you see that in football sometimes it can happen.
Ball cleared out of the goal by Pickford. I think it was heading towards Ollie Watkins, but easily held by Denmark. It's Bellingham for England. now the ball has been passed back to Morten Hjulmand. It's Hjulmand towards Barr. Barr now crossing towards Eriksson. Saved again by Pickford. Pickford rolls the ball out to Declan Rice. It's Declan Rice. Declan Rice for England. Passes straight to Conor Gallagher. Gallagher to Kyle Walker. Walker now passing to John Stones. Stones back towards Gallagher. Stones again. Stones down the wing it goes to Mark Gay. Gay towards Eze. It's Eze now. It's Eze now towards Ollie Watkins. Can Ollie Watkins get to the ball before it goes out? No, is the answer. Watkins was too far behind. He didn't get to the ball in time, and that was just unlucky for him. And I can now ascertain that it was Pierre Emile Højbjerg who had that shot on goal. But was saved by Pickford. England are running out of time and opportunities to retake the lead, I fear.
Yeah, I think so as well. We've only got just over 10 minutes of the game left now, plus additional time, and Denmark are causing a few problems. Jordan Pickford's made a couple of very good saves to deny them, and England have had a few moments, obviously, themselves as well. I think both nations have hit the woodwork, so it could go either way at the moment.
Højbjerg for Denmark, but I think there might have been a foul from him by Eze. Free kick given to England. Let's take a look what happened again. Oh, in fact, it was Højbjerg on Eze. I thought it was the other way round. It's Gallagher to Walker. Meantime, Walker passes back to Gallagher. Now Walker again. John Stones. And straight down towards Gay. Gay trying to cross to Eze, but denied by Denmark. Ball is now with Eriksson. Eriksson has to pass around again. He passes to Alexander Barr. Now it's with Joachim Andersen. Andersen with the ball for Denmark. Now straight pass to Kasper Schmeichel in goal. Schmeichel passing to Yannick Vestergaard. It's Vestergaard, but over the line it goes. I think Mæhle might have been the last player to have the touch of the ball. Throw into England. Thrown to Gallagher. Gallagher to John Stones. Now Mark Gay. Gay passing to Declan Rice. Back to Stones. Just under 10 minutes to go. It's still Denmark 1, England 1, and Mike says that's his choice for man of the match is going to be very difficult. It's Ollie Watkins, but snaffled away by Yannick Vestergaard. And over the line it goes for an England throw, and I think a substitution for Denmark will be made. Yes, indeed, there will. Yes, indeed, it will be. I think 2 are going to come on. So Andreas Skov Olsen and Christian Norgard are coming on. And off the pitch goes Christian Eriksen and also Morten Hjulmand, the man who scored for Denmark in the first half. Are those good substitute moves, Mike?
I think potentially they probably are. Obviously, the Danish player that scored has had a very, very good game. But yeah, I think it's come at the right time for them. England were obviously using their hand and making a couple of subs previously. So yeah, I think they're probably good subs at a good time.
Yes. So it appears that Denmark have been a bit more wise with their substitutes than England, but we shall see as Declan Rice passes to John Stones back towards Rice. Rice has to hold off Denmark, but fails to do so. and it's now with Skov Olsen. Skov Olsen passing to, I think that's, I couldn't see who it was. That might have been Alexander Barr. It's Alexander Barr with the ball now for Denmark. Could this be the chance for Denmark to clinch victory? Not if Mark Gay has anything to say about it, and just deflects it away.
Yeah, good play there from the England centre-back. Thought he did enough there to put the Danish player off. So, yeah, good play.
Good play indeed, but I think good play indeed, but it has forced a corner. Denmark will be looking to take advantage. Denmark will be looking to take advantage of the corner to punish England even further. It's Andreas Skov Olsen to take the corner, which he does, and it's blazed over by I couldn't see who it might have. It might have been Josef Poulsen or it might have been Christensen. We'll just have to check and see. I think yes, it was Christensen who got the last touch of it, or was it Poulsen?
Denmark are actually fancying this as well. You know, I've seen in the last few minutes they've had a few big opportunities and good chances, and you can see that. Yeah, Denmark are fancying getting a win here now.
Yes, and to prove that, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg had a chance to score, but he misses. He was so angry with himself, just pounding the ground with his hands. How close can one man get to taking the lead for taking the lead for his nations? But it's so far away.
Yeah, as I said, they're fancying this now. England are hanging on a little bit, and Denmark are having a few good moments and good chances.
You could say that the noose is tightening around England. Denmark have almost 5 minutes to go in for the final blow, but England are still holding on. But England are still holding on regardless. It's Mark Gay passing to John Stones. Stones to Declan Rice, and Stones passes back to Gay via Rice, and it's Gay with the cross to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham to Gallagher, but Bowen tries to go after the ball, but it's given away to Denmark, and Joachim Mæhle with the ball. He passes straight to Højbjerg, and it's Højbjerg crossing down the wing to Alexander Barr, but halted by England. It'll be a throw in to the 3 lines. I think it might have been Kieran Trippier who forced him away. As Trippier picks up the ball to take the throw. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, time is running out for England. They've got to make the next 4 minutes plus whatever period of injury time count.
Most definitely. And I think that we've said that Denmark are fancying this, but England aren't doing themselves any favours as well. They're giving the ball away in sloppy areas and under no pressure. So England aren't doing themselves any favours at the moment either.
Well, at least they're not racking up too many yellow cards. Christian Norgard has got a yellow card. I think 3 Denmark players have got yellow cards. England have only just got 1. But Denmark, despite all their yellow cards, they are running rings around England. I said they would earlier, and they are. Jude Bellingham tries to take the ball off Højbjerg. He's going after him, but Højbjerg is able to cope really well with this. It's Christian Norgard to Andreas Christensen. Christensen to Joachim Andersen. Andersen to Norgard. Norgard, Christensen, or should that be? I couldn't see who, but a foul between a couple of players. I think one of them might have been Mark Gay. The referee not impressed. I think Paulson might be one of the players. Free kick given to England, by the way. Just close enough to the centre line. Jordan Pickford stepping out of goal to take the free kick. England look as though they are now going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at Denmark with this sort of tactic.
It does look like that, doesn't it? And there is actually one substitution left for England as well. I don't know whether there's going to be enough time to get anybody on for injury time, but Cole Palmer and obviously Anthony Gordon are names that could potentially come on and have a different approach for England, maybe, and a different impact on the game. But it all depends on how much additional time is going to be added on as well.
Poorly taken free kick anyway, saved easily by Denmark, and it'll be Kasper Schmeichel to restart proceedings. We have about a minute and 15 seconds left until of normal time remaining. As Pickford picks up the ball, Harry Kane watching on from the touchline, debatable as to whether he should have been substituted or not. But the ball has now ended up with Mark Gay anyway. And in all the time that we have left, I'm going to have to ask Mike to get his thinking cap on, so he can tell me who is to get his thinking cap on and decide who his man of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services, should be. I dare say he will let me know soon enough, as the Denmark fans. As the Denmark fans look on, very satisfied with this. The England fans now starting to show more grimaces and smiles as Eberechi Eze tries to get after the ball, but I think he might have been held by Joachim Mæhle, or was it Joachim Andersen? I think it might have been Andersen. Did Andersen at any point get into any physical contact? He did. In fact, he pulled his shirt. That was unnecessary. Lucky he got away with that. 3 minutes have been added on. Is 3 minutes enough time for England to retake the lead?
Yeah, football's a funny old game. 3 minutes is quite a long time in football. So, yeah, there's plenty of time.
And they're bringing out Jordan Pickford again to take. They're bringing out Jordan Pickford again to take the free kick. In fact, it was Gay who took the free kick. I thought it was going to be Pickford. Stones with the long range cross towards Eze and Watkins, but picked up by Denmark. Denmark, no matter what England are doing, they just appear to take control of the situation. As Yussuf Poulsen, I think, got into a bit of contact with Mark Gay. Yes, indeed, he did. How do you see this one?
Yeah, I think that's the correct decision to give a foul there. Can't see any complaints.
Well, at least it wasn't booked. That's something. As England get ready to take the free kick, I think it will be Kieran Trippier that will be the one to. That'll be one to take it, either him or Jordan Pickford. In fact, Trippier is walking away. It'll be Pickford to take the free kick, which he does. It goes just outside the 18-yard box, but again, Denmark appear to are holding their own really well. And Mike, Mike has a player of the match, but he will decide on this one. But he will let me know. He will let me know when there's a quiet moment, as Denmark still continue to press on towards the goal with the ball. It's Alexander Barr towards I think that's Skov Olsen. Yes, indeed it is. And Kieran Trippier has gone down. And whilst that's going on, Mike, who is your player of the match as sponsored by Commentary Services?
Yeah, so it was a tough decision. There were a few names from both nations that were going around in my brain, but I've decided to give it to Mark Gahey. I think that he has defended solidly today. I think he's got himself around and made a few very important blocks as well. And defended well on a number of occasions for England. So Bukayo Saka was mentioned in my, Bukayo Saka was in my thoughts, and Jordan Pickford and the Danish goal scorer as well. But for me, I've just given the nod to Mark Gahey, who I think has performed well today, and he gets the player of the match.
So at least England will go away with something else besides a point, regardless of what happens. It's Declan Rice, and the referee has blown his whistle for something. I think that was because of what happened to Kieran Trippier just now, Trippier's line flat on the grass. But that's it. It's game. But that's it. It's game over. England came into this game with an opportunity to book themselves a place in the round of 16. They failed to do so, and Denmark were just too mighty for them. Full-time score: Denmark won, England won. And Mike, we've been saying this throughout the game: opportunities wasted for England.
Yeah, massive inquisition and improvement required. I think that there's going to be questions for Gareth Southgate on the back of that performance as well. England didn't perform very, very well at all in that game. I think that Denmark, towards the latter stages, really fancied getting a win there, and potentially were a bit unfortunate to only come away with a draw. But yeah, the inquisition starts now, and I think that there needs to be a big improvement for the game against Slovenia, which I believe is next Tuesday.
Yes, I believe it is next Tuesday. So before we go, let's have a quick look at the Group C standings. England still top their group, though. That's something, I guess. Denmark now behind in second place, so their chances of going through to the round of 16 have increased significantly because only just yesterday people were wondering if they were going to go out of this group stage, but that draw has given them a real boost.
Yeah, most definitely, and it's a deserved draw for Denmark as well. I think the manager is going to be very, very pleased with that one. They very much deserve to get something from that game. And as I say, England have to do better, but it's a big improvement for Denmark. Obviously, they drew their opening game as well, but in terms of the way that they played, I think they played better today. They caused England a few problems, and they've got that to build on now going into their final game against Serbia, and all to play for. A win will take them through. So it's a good performance from Denmark, and I think they deserve something from the game. So I think a score draw is probably a fair result.
All right, thanks. All right, thanks for your expert and insight, Mike, and thanks for your expert and your insight, Mike. And we've actually got Ross Vernon just sneaking in for the last of the last few moments. Russ, good evening to you. What's your opinion on the game?
Good evening, Nicholas. Good evening, Mike. Good evening, everybody. I think again tonight I would have to say that, like Sunday, England's performance tonight was absolutely rubbish. After we took the lead, yes, I know we took the lead and played well when we did take the lead, but however, for me, I think we didn't create enough in that second half. We looked lost in the game. The possession that we lost possession plenty of times. Yes, I know it wasn't just one or two players, it was quite a lot of players. And for me, when I'm looking at that team from England, it should be quite a bit of excellent performances. We should be putting in 9 times out of 10 performances. We should be putting 9 or 10 out of 10 performances with the squad we've got. Southgate should be getting the best out of this squad, and for whatever reason, he's not able to. And when I'm looking at that squad and looking at the performance levels from some of the players out there, Phil Foden went missing again tonight. Trent Alexander-Arnold, another poor performance from him in the middle of the park, needs to change out quickly. There's a few sloppy passes as well, and Gallagher, when he came on, he wasn't better than Trippier in that position, and I think that tonight it wasn't really perfection. I'd probably like to have seen Cole Palmer come on as potentially as well, instead of and moved and have Eze in the 10 and have Palmer on one side and Bowen on the other, with Watkins for the last few minutes and probably rest and probably rest Jude Bellingham. But for me, I think Southgate's got the tactics wrong again, especially starting with Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I've just got a question for you as well, Russ, or sort of two questions in one, really. Regarding the substitutions, Bukayo Saka, I thought was playing very, very well at that point. What do you make to him coming off? And you mentioned Cole Palmer as well. What does he have to do to get a look in, and also the likes of Anthony Gordon as well?
Yeah, good question there, Mike. And for me, Saka, yes, he played well again tonight. I thought he was one of our main threats out wide. Foden, like I mentioned, anonymous again. Same with Trent in midfield, Trent Alexander-Arnold, that is. But for me, Palmer, I'm not sure what he needs to do to get a start. I think or get a game. He should have come on tonight for me. And you look at like I mentioned, man, you look at the squad, and Saka should be getting more out of him. Especially in the second half, especially after the goal. And what I want to know is, and the question back at you, Mike, why do you think there was no press? For me, there was no press after we took the lead. Yes, we were pressing early on, took the lead, and we sat back and sat off them again. There was no press after we took the lead, and I was a bit surprised by that. I would expect press to come in and cause a few problems with the players that were on the pitch at the time after we took the lead, and just them to sit back. I'm not sure whether that's a tactical issue from Southgate, whether that's the players' mentality is not being there right and having to drop back. I'm not sure what you think about that, Mike. Which one do you think it is? Southgate instructions or the mindset of the players to drop back after we take the lead?
I think it's instructions from Gareth Southgate. I think we saw it against Serbia. There were moments when the sort of team sat back a bit more and they didn't really press as high up as some of these players can do. I think that Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka, Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, they're all players that can do that. So yeah, for me, I think it's from the manager. I think it's tactical approach more than anything else.
All right, thanks, Russ. All right, thanks to Russ for his extra insights. And speaking of Russ, he'll be on commentary for Spain against Italy in around about an hour's time with Ethan Gardner alongside him. Do join him for that one. So Russ, before you go off to prepare, what are your predictions for Spain against Italy?
With me doing the commentary, Nick, listen, I never give predictions if I'm doing the commentary on the game. And so for me, I'm not willing to give a prediction for that one. I think it'll be a good game, though. And I can see, I'm not going to say, I think it's going to win either, because that'll probably give away that's like a kind of prediction. But both teams are really good. I've enjoyed watching Italy in the opening match against Albania. I enjoyed watching Spain against Croatia in their opening match and covering that one as well. So I'm looking forward to covering Italy tonight. Not covering them in the major tournament for quite a bit, but should be a good game. Both got some good quality players on show. In fact, I think if I just quickly check, because I'm sure any second now we will have the team news. I can bring some early team news to the listeners if we may, as we've got the team news in now, and I'll just quickly run through some of the key players who start tonight, or in my opinion, a key player. So we'll look at the Spain side first of all. Unai Simon in goal. Carlo Al plays again. Alvaro Morata, the captain. Fabian Ruiz. And Aymeric Laporte, formerly of Manchester City, starts. Rodri of Man City starts. Just to remind you, if Rodri gets booked tonight, he'll miss the next game. Lamine Yamal, who performed really, really well in the opening match against Croatia, he starts again tonight for Spain. He's only 16 years of age and won a tournament so far. I know there's only one game he's played, but he was fantastic in that game. Marco Correa of Brighton of Chelsea plays as well. Arsenal fans, David Raya is amongst those on the bench, which include Joselu from Real Madrid and former Leicester City man and Uxie man Jose Perez on the bench for Spain. 14 news later in the build-up and the coverage of Spain against Italy. As for Italy, then is Donnarumma starts in goal. Arsenal's Jorginho plays, as was from the West Ham man Gianluca Scamacca. Riccardo Calafiore and Lorenzo Pellegrini, if they're booked tonight, they'll miss the next game for Italy. Barella plays again after he won the strike in the opening match of Italy's group tournament. And on the bench, Stephen El-Shaarawy amongst those on the bench, including a good striker, in my opinion, in Raspadori, also on the bench. Join me and Ethan Garner from around about 7:50 for that game. The referee is Slavko Vincic from Slovenia. Clement Turpin from France is the fourth official. While VAR tonight, we've got one from Slovenia in Nejic Kazatovic and two from Poland, Bartosz Vaskowski and Thomas Kurowski. It's going to be a cloudy night, temperature of 20 degrees, humidity of 73. This game is coming up from the Arena Alschalk in Gelsenkirchen from 7:50 here on the commentary with myself, Russ Brennan, alongside Ethan Gardner.
Just before we let you go, Russ, as well, just one final question. Obviously, we've seen England twice now. We've seen a few of these nations twice, and where do you see England going from now on? Obviously, we've got Slovenia on Tuesday. What do you think Gareth Southgate needs to change for that game? And also, where do you see England in terms of like the sort of favourite for the tournament as well? We've seen Germany perform very, very well and get the comfortable win over Scotland, and now obviously they've qualified with their victory as well, which I think was yesterday. And we've seen Portugal, we've seen Spain play very, very well. Where do you see England in terms of the favourites for the tournament? And has that changed on the back of today's performance and result for you as well?
Well, for me, Matt, just quickly, just before we do wrap up and I get ready to go and finish off my preparation for that later game. For me, when I look at this performance from England, I don't know why we've been named favourites in the tournament, if you ask me, based on the two performances so far. We take the lead and we sit back. We've done it quite a lot of the time in recent matches as well under Southgate in major tournaments as well. However, for me, with the performance levels from England, if we perform like we have done tonight, and I watched Slovenia earlier today, yes, they were good. Serbia very lucky not to lose that game. They could have been 2-0 down before they got the equaliser later on with Jovic in that game at this lunchtime at 2 p.m. kickoff. You can listen back to that on the commentary and all platforms later if you want to, in the build up to the next game. But for me, if we perform like that, and I don't want to sound as negative as I probably am going to sound here, I'm not sure if we'll get a result against Slovenia. I think Slovenia, if they perform like they did in that game, yes, where it's in our hands at the moment, I think Slovenia could get through. And if Denmark beats Serbia, which to me I think they're capable of, I know Denmark's only got 2 points so far, but I think they've got quality in the side, which we saw that tonight in terms of Christian Eriksen, Ullmann with the goal, Højbjerg as well, Rasmus Højlund as well. If they can get those players firing on show for the next game, England could potentially go through as one of the third best teams. Might be not go through automatically, so we'll have to, or not go through at all, depending if England do get through as a third best placed team here in this group. Where we're from, I'm not sure we can get top two at the moment.
Yeah, and I think just before we wrap it up as well, I think I have to agree with that. I think the performance levels haven't been great in the opening two games, and I think it's time for the sort of the likes of Bellingham and Kane and Saka to really show what they're about now. So yeah, I think I have to agree with that as well. Slovenia won't be an easy game, but it's time for them to come and show what they're going to be about in this tournament now. And then if we can get through, then we'll see where we can go from there.
Yeah, just quickly, Nicholas, just before I do let you wrap up, on Bellingham there, on Sunday performed well and was the match winner for England and had a really good time. But today, I don't even recall one good thing that Bellingham did. And that's not a criticism of Bellingham. I think the system didn't favour him today with the opposition that would come up against. Today, for me, in the 4-2-3-1, if we were going to play that system, I would have probably started Eze in that number 10 role in place of Bellingham. I know Southgate said before kick-off he wanted to have continuity, and that's the reason why he played the same side again. But for me, start someone like Eze in that number 10 against Denmark and let him run at them. That's going to cause quite a lot of problems for for Denmark, and he didn't really do that when he came on. But if he was on for a longer period than what he were today, you probably would have seen a bit more quality of what he does for Crystal Palace, and why he's been linked with moves to Chelsea, Manchester United, along with Michael Elise as well. So you need to, for me, Bellingham weren't on it today, Kane weren't on it. There was quite a few that weren't on it today, and I'm not sure whether that's fatigue from the last game, with how much hard work they put in to get over the line with a victory in that first game against Serbia.
Yeah, I think I've just seen a message here from Alan Shearer as well, and he seems to think that maybe using Anthony Gordon and playing wingers off of Harry Kane could work. So maybe that's something England can try in the next game.
Yeah, maybe Gordon and Bowen maybe have them off, or Gordon and Saka potentially. But Bowen today didn't really get into the game much, but he played well against Serbia. If he's on for a bit longer, maybe he would have got into the game a bit more Bowen tonight as well. But for me, I think if he starts Bowen and Gordon, that could be proven to be a good test in the final group game.
So plenty for England to think about, and that about wraps up our coverage of Denmark against England. As Russ mentioned, don't forget to join him and Ethan Gardner at about 10 to 8 for Italy against Spain. So from all of us here at the Commentary Hub, bye bye for now.